guys, so here's an interesting debate I have been seeing go back and forth in the VC right now, and it's about, again, Beatles' last song, Now and Then, and it is whether or not Now and Then counts as being part of the Beatles canon. So, for the uninitiated who don't know internet speaker fandom speak that well, let me explain the concept of canon to you first so we can have this debate properly. I can personally make an argument in either direction to be 100% fair, and I will lay out my reasonings for both. I'll also tell you which one I feel like it falls on, but it is totally up for discussion. We can all agree to disagree, but I'd like to hear just your reasoning for why you feel it is or isn't. I feel like having a set place to civilly debate this topic, instead of it being in the comment section of every single video about this song ever, I think it'd be a good thing to have. So, the concept of canon is basically, within the context of a certain thing, does this count legitimately as a part of it, like the main thing? Or is it like a separate... It might be connected, might not be, but it is not officially part of this. So, like, an example would be, say, and I hope I'm getting this right, not getting it backwards of which franchise it's from. Feel free to correct me if I am wrong, though, but like how Star Wars has the whole canon of their movies, all 9 movies, okay, everybody seems to be in agreement, those count as canonical. But then there's side things that, while it's still the same characters, it's still the same universe, it's not really officially part of the canonical line, the canonical world. So, like, there's the movies, and then there's the weird Christmas special that existed off separately. It's still them, it's still the same world, it's still the same characters, but does anybody count the events of that thing as part of the Star Wars timeline? I'm sure there might be a few who say yes, but I think overall most would say no, that is not canon. That's the difference of canon versus non-canon. So in the context of the Beatles, it would be like, does this truly count as a Beatles song or not, is ultimately what it boils down to. So, the arguments is I can lay them out. I'm sure others have other arguments they can throw in here, and feel free to do so, please, and thank you. Like I said, let's get a rousing discussion going in the comments, but points towards it. It does have all 4 of them on it. Technically, even if they weren't all recorded in the same place, on the same day, at the same time, together, all 4 are technically on it. Yeah, it may have taken studio wizardry to make that happen, but all 4 are there. All 4 of them make up the Beatles, therefore, it is a Beatles track. It's not an oddity off to the side. It was released as an official release, therefore that makes it Beatles canon. Does it not? However, you can argue in the other direction just as easy and be like, but it wasn't a Beatles song. That was a John song. It was a John demo that got completed by Paul and fleshed out by Ringo with George Frankenstein in there. That's not a Beatles song. It's something. It's something that has them all 4 on it, but it's not a Beatles song. Even if they claim the title on top of it, it's not truly a Beatles song. Some feel very strongly about that, by the way, and I'm not here to agree with or disagree with you. You are entitled to your opinion. This is open to both sides of this debate here. Some are arguing that. Some are arguing the whole AI thing, even though I think that one's a cop-out to use AI as the excuse, but anyway, some are using that as an excuse. Some are trying to claim, but all 4 of them technically didn't play on it, even though I argue, yeah, they did, but they're claiming because they weren't in the studio together while still formed as the Beatles, it doesn't count as Beatles. And I mean, arguments can be made both ways on that one. Like, obviously everybody considers Yesterday to be a Beatles song, but it's been argued that it's not really, though. And there's reasons for why it's not really. There's other ones too. There's other examples, like Ballad of John and Yoko comes up frequently. It's literally only 2 of them playing on it. That's not all 4. Therefore, does that not count as canonical Beatles? Obviously, it's part of the discography. Obviously, it does. So, it's interesting things that people point out when making the arguments one way or the other. Now, personally, I'm going to say I count it. I count it. Warts and all, even though I don't think it's perfect, even though I still feel it has its shortcomings. Yeah, it's grown on me, but that has nothing to do with whether or not I count it as a Beatles song. They released it as a Beatles song, I'm counting it as a Beatles song. Simple as that, but that's just me. Others, not such an easy sell. Some are somewhere in the middle. I think a lot of people are kind of in the gray area, in the middle somewhere where they could lean towards one or the other sides, but they're either a little more this way, a little more that way, but they're kind of undecided on it. And I think that's common, and I think that's normal even, but it's an interesting thing, and I've been seeing this debate going on and on and on in, like, the comment sections of just about any video on this. Not my channel specific, I mean across the board. I have been seeing a ton of this go down. So I was like, you know what? I am going to make this as a video, an open debate for who all wants to participate in it in the comments section. All are welcome here. All viewpoints are welcome here. Why do you or why don't you feel that it counts as Beatles canon, and give your reasoning with it. Obviously, we'll have a civil discussion and not fight, but yeah, I think it'd be interesting to have just like an official space to do this in. So, there you go.